Hello, and today we are back at home. Now what do I mean by that? Well, I'm in the Tomcat, and the Tomcat's my plane. So we're going to go fly this now. So we've got lining up at the airfield of Beirut, I do believe, the blue side spawn for the fighters. And we're next to this other Tomcat here, Jolly Roger's one, and he can LARP all he wants. We're just going to overtake him and immediately deploy, because that is our objective. I'm not going to hang about, and I ain't here to waste time.
Nails, 7 o'clock.
So fast forward a little bit, and we're in the air. For real this time, and we're chasing this F-16 on the deck. Now I set my macro up for voice attack to display all targets on EWR, which was a horrible mistake. So every time I press my macro, it populates like half the screen. So yeah, maybe don't do that. And I do remember setting it back not long after this. We kind of got a bit of like target opportunity. There's like a MiG-29, and then there's also an F-16, the original one that we were chasing. And then Spike 2 o'clock. And then it's only now I realise there's a Mirage 2000 coming in at like Mach Gorillion, firing a 530 at me at 40,000 feet. And I honestly don't know how I instantaneously notched that, but somehow we do. So I'm going to go into mill power and then just do a steady stream of flares until he gets closer, and I'm going to start spamming him out a lot more. And now we're merged with him, and I've gone wing sweep manual at this point. I fly with the cover open anyway, but we're definitely emergency wing sweep. Quite a decent merge by me then, and the Mirage 2000 still going pretty darn fast, so we're just going to I spike him immediately just in case he was to commit to that fight, but wisely he hasn't. I was already at like turn speed and he wasn't. He was supersonic. So we are going to end up chasing this Mirage across half of Syria. Now, with my current loadout, which is 4 Sparrows, 2 Sidewinders, so the aerodynamic Chad choice for the Tomcat, I know I should basically be able to keep with him. If I was in the F-14A, I would be catching him right now. But we're not, we're in the B, and there's a myriad of different reasons why I'd have the B over the A, apart from speed, blah blah blah. And I've released Spike, and fired a Sparrow anyway. And you notice that my ACM cover is up, so this is going to be a flood mode shot. So I've just got to keep him relatively close to the fixed cross in our HUD. And that moving cross is just the camera tracking him. And this Sparrow does get pretty darn close, but he does kinematically defeat it. So I come out of burner because I start to realise the cost of fuel that this might be producing. Now I offset a little bit because I'm kind of worried that other targets on the EWR might be coming after me, but we see the Mirage start to turn around.
Showing 570.
So I'll point my nose up at him and fire the Sparrow off, another flood mode shot, and it's tracking beautifully, and I was just like in awe of how well the Sparrow's tracking. So therefore I do an STT lock on a Mirage, like rear aspect. The blink jammer usually just annihilates my Sparrow. It just like tells the Sparrow to stop tracking, stop doing what it wants to do. But not in this case, as it looks like flood mode came through and delivered the splash for us. So now we're on like the other half of Syria. And we've got some EWR reports, an F-16 doing F-16 things. And it looks like, according to my RWR, he is having a face-off with a Patriot missile system. Because I'm getting a launch warning from the Patriot, but it'll be overflow to this F-16. So we STT, used the PAL mode to just find him. And then I drop the lock, because I'm looking to do a flood mode shot, because the F-16 has no Fox 1, so I don't need to worry about cranking. I can just fly straight and flare off his missiles. So we're still looking for a flood shot, and I wasn't kind of aware he was turning around so far. So we fire the Sparrow, me thinking it's not going to track, but it pulls a Guerrillian G and just smashes him. It deploys immediately. And yeah, I was honestly surprised how well that worked in flood mode up close like that, but flood mode just came through again and delivered the next splash, so that was pretty cool. I ended up landing, so this is a fresh loadout, so we got all of our Sparrows back and all of our fuel back. And more Mirage 2000 trouble, as one is coming in at 40,000 feet, the average altitude for most Delta Wing enthusiasts, it would seem, on the Contention server. So I'm going to start turning in now towards this Mirage 2000. Pretty darn terrified because it is strictly a 1v1. I don't really have much allies to back me up here. And if anyone has experience on a Fox 1 server, you know a 1 versus 1 against the Mirage 2000 in BVR and in ACM usually means death if the skill levels are comparable. So we get him spiked up, and then so I recently managed to destroy all my binds when I updated my firmware on my throttle, so my radar and ACM cover are just doing some crazy stuff right now without me even meaning to. So we are approaching him. I'm going to try and get him locked with the BVR radar because he dove really aggressively, so I thought he might have been defending a SAM. If he's chaffing, it can affect the POW lock. So I want to get him with a pulse Doppler lock, so we get him with the radar, and we're about to engage, get into the crank and fire the Sparrow. But if you see, I fired the Sparrow with the ACM cover closed, so it would have started lofting. I realised my mistake and opened it to cancel the loft. And then we put the Witch's Hat in the top right corner of the HSD to get an optimal crank. And we're trying our best, but it is a Mirage 2000, and hypersonic baguettes are indeed pretty quick. Poor old Jester there yelling shit, shit, shit. And we go ahead and die like a man to a Mirage 2000. So taking a look at this back in TAC view, we do actually fire the Sparrow a couple of seconds before the M2K managed to get his 530 off. But as you can see, look how high it lofted. Even though I cancelled it, the Sparrow got still pretty high, and that's exactly not what we want to happen with inside 10 miles. Now, we do defend better than him due to the fact the Tomcat has its big boy gimbal and nice symbology. My Sparrow actually ends up getting really, really close to killing him. I'm going to freeze frame it here. It's basically a draw, but it lost too much energy in the loft. And had it not lofted, I reckon this could have been a trade. And if not a trade, I might have even won it. So let this be a lesson to any aspiring Tomcat pilot on a Fox 1 server. For the love of God, make sure that your ACM cover is up, basically at all times. It should be part of your startup pretty much, as the Sparrow comes off the rail much faster. It doesn't loft, and it also gives you access to the flood mode, which, as you've already seen, can be kind of funny. So into the next sortie then with the Tomcat. We've wasted our Sparrow on something that got killed by a friendly, so I mean it's not the end of the world. We do have 4 of them. So in the camera there is a good old MiG-29, and we are very much sub 10 miles, so we're going to go ahead and fire the Sparrow and get into a decent crank. And sort of these bizarre plays by the MiG-29 pilot, quite a few of them I've noticed like to fly really low, and that's not really the best suggestion on a rather high situational awareness server. So we're going to go ahead and drop the lock, because you already know what I'm going to try and do. We're going to try and get a flood mode kill again, because I'm kind of obsessed with flood mode. So we fire the Sparrow, it fires completely straight, and then all of a sudden deploys immediately and tracks its exact position. Discord then notifies us that someone has left the call, and we get a splash. So as I'm discovering right now, SA2 sites are slightly annoying when you're trying to find frogfoots to feed on. Now, my mindset is, do you know what, I might just go for another fucking flood mode kill, to be honest with you. But I don't think I should. I think I should get a little bit of dogfight practice. It's only a frogfoot, but, you know, practice is practice. And he's still got R73, so he can potentially deploy immediately and kill me, which we don't want to happen. So we're going to go ahead and select our good old 20mm Vulcan. He jettisons all his stuff and starts pulling hard and flaring. So you can tell he's not on the blue team because he's actually reacting to someone being behind him. We give a nice little burst of Vulcan. I think we might have gotten a hit in there, but it was only like a grazing blow. We're going to go ahead and use the fact that we are basically the same plane as him with afterburners, so we can just kind of be hilarious and kind of dance all around him. Now, he does pull about 55,000 G and pull out of my nose there, so that was pretty... You can tell this guy really isn't on the blue team. He is definitely a red player. I'm going to come back around now. I'm going to select the fixed gun sight. I'm not going to use radar or gyro because it's quite high aspect. And we get a nice beam in there, and I was pretty satisfied with that shot. Kind of slaughtering a child, you know, Tomcat versus Rockfoot, but, you know, it's good practice. And he starts departing flight there. The SA-2 decides to re-aggro on me. Pretty advanced AI intelligence. And then I was using manual wing sweep throughout that, so I accidentally swept my wings all the way back, nearly crashed because we don't have enough lift. But luckily the Tomcat is inherently overpowered because of swing wing supremacy. And if your plane's wings don't swing, it's not cool. So, you know, it all cancels out. So I'm now closing in on to what I suspect is like an in the wild triple bag F-16. These are pretty graceful creatures. And the thing is with triple bag F-16s, what tends to happen is they're like a ticking time bomb until their inevitable and almost certain death. Because they've given into blue hyperlarp and they're taken triple bags to fly a grand total of 20 miles and die. So we fire the good old reliable flood mode Sparrow. He basically doesn't even react and blows up. Yeah. I almost like feel sorry because they're quite innocent creatures, and I'm not really sure I should have put him down like that. He posed no threat, but I had one Sparrow left on the jet and I needed to deploy it immediately. Well, it's time to wrap up the video. If you guys are in the market of joining a fun, persistent, dynamic PvP server, I'll go ahead and leave a link to the Contention Discord in the video description. I also want to know your guys' opinion of this like raw, unscripted voiceover style video. This is only my second one, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.